Once upon a time, this was Greece's future. Today, it's a reminder of a sad past. 7,000 people crowded in here to watch the kayak competition in the 2004 Olympics. This is where Britain raced through rapids to win a silver medal. But the water dried up many years ago. These days, no one visits this modern Greek amphitheatre. The only signs of life are the hawks circling overhead. If you've wondered what a 21st century depression looks like, you don't have to go far in Greece to find out. Since the Games, the economy has collapsed. A quarter of the working age population is unemployed. But statistics tell you nothing about the reality of everyday life. The Solis family used to run restaurants here in Crete. Now all they have to eat are the leftovers their neighbours pass them. Evicted from their home and living in borrowed accommodation, the bills and IOUs are mounting. I asked whether they had ever anticipated this.
Βοηθούσαμε και ανθρώπους που ξέραμε ότι πεινούσαν. Ο καταψύχτης μου ήταν γεμάτο κρέατα. Το σπίτι μου είχε του πουλιού το γάλα. Ποτέ δεν υστερηθήκαμε. Ποτέ. Τα είχαμε όλα.
For families like this, when they want hope and optimism, there is one magic word.
Με όλη μου την καρδιά. Είμαι Συριζέα. Ήμουνα και θα είμαι μέχρι θανατά. Μόνο από το σπίτι μου μέσα, από το σπίτι μου, παίρνει 10 ψήφους. Μόνο από το σπίτι μου.
Syriza. It's a political phenomenon unlike anything seen here for decades. Two parties have dominated the way Greece has run since the 1970s. Now they look like being beaten in this weekend's snap elections.
The citizens have put their faith into Syriza's solution is because they trust what we have been saying all along. We are talking about sensible, logical solutions, and at the same time we are talking about the social reforms that Greece requires. And to be honest, there is a change of the political system itself. The people are fed up with the old political system. They want fresh faces, fresh ideas, and a fresh political institution to make the change.
But those fresh ideas involve taking on the European establishment. As far as Germany is concerned, there is no renegotiation on Greece's bailout. Also, they say in public.
Well, we are not the government yet, but we have obviously contacts with the German government for quite some time. They know what our basic ideas are. We know theirs. But I think Europe has always been a case for compromise and moving forward.
Those last points are important. First, they've been quietly talking to Berlin for some time. Second, they are open to a compromise. Surprising, perhaps, until you remember the vast majority of Greeks still want to stay in the euro.
We are worrying that the Syriza has not yet presented something concrete or something that is realistic as far as how they are going to deal with our partners, how they are going to deal with the main and substantial questions of the Greek economy, that means reforms and the rest. Their proposals are, to our understanding, very much unrealistic, and this is why we are afraid that could harm the Greek economy.
This is a country littered with remnants of its history. But most striking of all are the modern ruins. Vast sites that should have been sold off years ago. This is the old Athens airport, but there haven't been flights on and off this runway for the past decade and a half. The government has been trying to sell this off. It's all part of the privatisation scheme associated with the bailout. They have a buyer potentially. They're going to build apartments over there. But Syriza says if it wins the election, the whole thing is off. There are two separate castes in this Greek drama. Those with the mega yachts, accused of paying too little tax, and those who can't avoid taxes, or afford them either. For the Papadakis family, rising tariffs meant they could no longer afford their power bills. Soon enough, the electricity company cut them off.
Can't open.
A problem for any family, a tragedy for this one.
Αυτό εδώ ήταν το μισοπυκνωτής οξυγόνου, της παρήχε οξυγόνο.
The electricity had been powering their ill mother's life support system. She died soon after it was switched off.
Εκείνη τη στιγμή είναι πολύ περίεργα τα συναισθήματα. Δηλαδή, από τη μια είναι να κλαις και από την άλλη είναι να τρελαίνεσαι, να σε πιάνει η κρίση εκείνη τη στιγμή. Ότι χάθηκε ένας άνθρωπος επειδή άξιζε 800 ευρώ. Η αξία της ζωής του ήταν 800 ευρώ.
No coincidence that among Syriza's promises are free electricity bills for hard-pressed families. But economists worry that all these pledges may be irrelevant if it can't agree things with Germany.
If the negotiations become very protracted, they don't seem to be leading to anything, then we can have a confidence crisis, we can see bank deposits being depleted, so capital flight, social unrest, and eventually we're staring at default. So really, the time is quickly running out, and by the beginning of the summer, it will be too late.
This is the Syriza campaign poster. You can see it dotted around all of Greece. Literally, it translates as hope is coming. But there's so much hope, so much expectation bound up in one political party that if they do get into power and can't sort the system out, what then? The worst fear is that people would turn to real extremists. Neo-Nazi Golden Dawn, whose protests last time around turned violent, have been banned from open campaigning. That may not stop them from becoming the third biggest party in Greek politics. This country brought us democracy, drama, tragedy. This weekend, all three collide. Ed Conway, Sky News in Athens.